Archipelago adalah perusahaan manajemen perhotelan terbesar di Indonesia dan Asia Tenggara. Didirikan pada tahun 1997, perusahaan ini telah berkembang pesat dengan mengelola 13 merek hotel yang diantaranya Aston, Alana, Camuella, Huxley, Avanica, Aston Collections Hotel, Harper, Quest, Four Corners, Hotel Neo, Faith Hotel, Nordic, dan Powered by Archipelago yang tersebar di berbagai kota besar dan destinasi wisata di Indonesia serta beberapa negara lain. Archipelago Internasional dikenal karena menyediakan berbagai pilihan akomodasi yang bervariasi, mulai dari hotel ekonomis, premium, hingga resort yang dilengkapi teknologi mutakhir berbasis Google untuk memenuhi kebutuhan wisatawan bisnis maupun rekreasi. Lalu seperti apa perjalanan sukses Archipelago?
Halo pemirsa CNBC Indonesia, Anda kembali menyaksikan Property Point bersama saya Shania Alatas. Jika di awal tadi Anda sudah melihat kemegahan salah satu properti dari Aston Serang. Nah, kali ini saya sudah bersama dengan CEO Archipelago, di mana kita akan membahas lebih lanjut bagaimana cerita kesuksesan, sekaligus juga milestone Archipelago di Indonesia dan secara global. Dan kali ini saya sudah bersama dengan Mr. John Flood, selaku CEO of Archipelago. Hi, Mr. John. How are you today?
Very good, Shania. Thanks for having me on the program.
Yeah, thanks for having us as well.
Sure.
Mr. John, so I'm very curious. Archipelago first started the hotel business in Indonesia in 1997 and has grown rapidly ever since, and with more 350 plus properties globally. Would you tell me about it and why Indonesia?
Oh, it's a big question. Starting off in the beginning, I guess we started off as a very small management group, and all things start small, all big things start small, right? So, but our goal was always to become the company that we are today, even beyond. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think we've developed that quickly. There's some things that held us back, and there was, you know, different things, COVID and SARS and MERS and all different kind of things got in our way. But, you know, eventually, step by step, we were able to get to the place where we are today. But just as a general kind of thing, we always kind of took a holistic approach to business. It's, you know, people usually associate holistic with the spa or something, but we always took a holistic approach to business where all the parts are kind of integrated together and interdependent. So, for example, you know, we started off with you know, we wanted to create like an adaptive culture that was like open to change, which people are not really usually open to change, especially in the hotel business, which is kind of like hasn't really changed that much in 100 years almost. I mean, the technology changes, but overall, I mean, it's still the same kind of bed and breakfast and weddings and service and stuff like that. But we wanted to change things up a little bit and become a different kind of company, you know. So, and we always felt that technology would be a big part for us. We had a couple of guys, Jules Brookfield, for example, came into the company from the beginning almost. And he was instrumental in helping us develop all the technology that we thought we'd need for the future. So we always had that in mind. You know, we always had a long-term vision of where we wanted the company to be. And we kind of worked towards that step by step over the years, always with a kind of a master plan in place of, you know, what we needed to achieve to get up to, you know, 600 hotels, 1,000 hotels, to be able to go overseas. So we spent a lot of time, we were very patient, we spent a lot of time in Indonesia developing the systems, developing the procedures, developing all our technology here, so that when the time came to go overseas, then we had a good foundation, we were in a good place to expand.
So this is very interesting as well. Can you share me more about which located properties and what makes Archipelagos different than other hotel management that we have known already?
The hotels are located across the archipelago. That's why the name was quite apt for us, you know, Archipelago. But I mean, they really are spread. I mean, east to west, all the way from Medan to Jayapura, and everywhere in between. I mean, obviously we have a large concentration in the Jakarta area. We probably have maybe 30 hotels around Greater Jakarta. Bali, we'd have maybe 20 hotels. But yeah, they're spread all over the place, you know, Makassar, Surabaya, all different kind of places. So in the beginning, it was, you know, quite a thing to go such long distances, yeah, but we're kind of used to it now. The systems are in place. We have regional general managers looking after the different areas, and we have offices in Jakarta, Bali, Surabaya, Jogja. So it helps us oversee things.
So aside from your headquarters in Jakarta, do you have any like representative office other than Indonesia?
Yeah, we have a representative office around all the places we operate around the world. I mean, at the moment we concentrate a lot on the Middle East, and the reason for that is, you know, there's a lot of Indonesian pilgrims going either on Hajj or Umrah to the Middle East. Also, Dubai is a popular place for Hajj or Umrah plus. So we have an office in Dubai, and then we're also signing a lot of contracts in Saudi Arabia. So we've opened up an office in Jeddah. We're based there. The Caribbean has also been a strong area for us for growth. We started off in Cuba about 10 years ago, and one of the companies over there invited us over, so we went over and we started getting into Cuban hotels and managing hotels for the guys over there. We have 5 hotels open in Cuba at the moment. And then from that, then we had that as a kind of a stepping stone or a beachhead, and then we expanded into Mexico and Dominican Republic, where we also have offices. Then Europe, of course, we do some business over in Europe for Powered by Archipelago, and then the guys in Dublin, where the office is in Europe, the headquarters, and they oversee basically the Caribbean, along with the guys who are based in the Caribbean in our office there in Punta Cana, which is in the Dominican Republic.
Wow, basically same as its name, around the archipelago, from Indonesia,
from the archipelago
and beyond.
Yeah, that's the plan, so.
Cuba and so on and so forth. So many offices that you own already. So moving on, I see that Archipelago also developed technology and solution, which have you explained a little earlier today. So could you elaborate on the aspect of this company's development on technology? One
of the things we were able to do is use all the latest platforms and technology in the latest language. Like we use, for example, we use Golang, which is Google's Google language, Go. So it's very easy for all the new programmers that are coming out. They can slot into it really easy, where the problem with a lot of the old kind of archaic systems that hotel management companies used before, like Fidelio or Oracle or so forth, they're quite old systems, you know, so getting programmers to work on those is difficult. Getting them to make the changes is difficult, but also integrating them with, you know, all the different online travel agents that need to be done, but also like the property management systems these days also have to be able to integrate with a lot of different companies, not just online travel agents. So the more tech savvy your deck is, you know, the better you can connect with the outside world, which is key to getting in, you know, your distribution channels and getting in more bookings, but also making it easier for people, for your guests, to be able to use different services outside your hotel.
So now I want to talk about the strategies. So what are the key strategies and milestones that have contributed to Archipelago's growth and reputation in the hospitality industry?
In the beginning, we started off, you know, we had one brand. We started off with the Aston brand. This is 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And at the time, we saw that budget airlines were becoming very, very popular. You know, Lion Air was coming in, Air Asia was coming in. So we thought, well, you know, you're going to have to match up budget hotels with these budget airlines, because at the time there was just, you know, if you wanted to go to Singapore, for example, it was just Garuda or Singapore Airlines. The ticket was $300. You had to pay also $100 fiscal, if you remember what that was. But as the prices came down, you know, budget hotels were becoming like a requirement. So we decided to develop our own budget brands at the time, which was a lot of work. We like to do things in-house. So one of our things we do is we don't hire consultants for stuff. Whatever it is, we don't hire consultants. We just, like, if we want to do it, you know, you read a book, you look it up online, you know, you go the Elon Musk way, right? You just kind of, you want to learn how to do rockets, you read a book about rockets. We did the same thing. So all the parts about building brands, we figured it out. So the first brand we developed was Fave Hotels, and that took about a year to develop.
Okay, so I note that you explained lots of like middle-range hotels in Indonesia. Is that do you put like into consideration that Indonesia middle class has lots of buying power?
Previously, before this year, I would have said, oh yeah, very positive on it. This year, you see a little bit of a slowdown. Things are there is a little bit of a drop in the market, all right. But in general, what happened after COVID, though, was that a lot of people are going a little bit more for luxury. So people previously that would be in like a budget or select service hotel are going a little bit more mid-class. The people who are in mid-class are going a bit more luxury. So people are spending a little bit more now on experiences and samplings, whether it's travel or food, and now it's also online, you know, TikTok and Instagram and all these things. People, you know, we say about hotels when you're developing now, doing the design, they have to be Instagram ready, because people are just going to take so many pictures. So you focus a lot more these days on developing that different things. It could be a giant golden shoe in the lobby, but something that will get people to take pictures of your hotel and then post them online, so it kind of advertises itself and reinforces like the hotel online, instead of actually having to do traditional advertising in print media. So it's quite different these days, yeah.
All right, so very interesting. I also know that there's this Google Nest. It's like a modern, some kind of like butler, but like electronically. Can you explain it more?
Yeah, Google Nest is something that it actually came because we try and focus a little bit on people with disabilities. So for example, in Anyer, one of our hotels, we got in water wheels for disabled people, people with disabilities who can get into these and then go into the sea and feel the water and so forth. But going on a step from that, we said, okay, how would you do a room where people don't have to touch anything? And this also came back to COVID, where we were looking at ways to, you know, you don't have to use a telephone, you don't have to use a remote control for the TV and so forth. So Google had a product, Google Nest, but our problem was, okay, how do we make that in a hotel setting? So we were able to adjust the software on a Google Nest and then make it suitable for a hotel. So people can, for example, go in, they can use a Google Nest just like you do at home, you know, and or operate the television, operate the blinds in some rooms, operate the air conditioning, the lights and so forth. But this is also good for people, you know, blind people who go into a room. They can just do all this stuff just with a voice command. But you can also communicate then with the front desk. You can say, hey, Google, call the front desk, or hey, Google, call the food and beverage if you want to order food, or if you want to talk to people at the front desk about an inquiry.
Yeah, and the idea came from like to be disability friendly.
To be disability friendly, yeah. We call, you know, the phrase we use these days is persons of disability. So you know, you put the person first rather than the disability. So it's more person focused. So yeah.
Okay. But about this hotel in Aston Anyer, could you tell me more about the specific features and services that make your hotel accessible?
One of the things we did was we got in what's called a water wheels. It's like a wheelchair, but bigger, and it has like big wheels on it that float. So you can strap somebody into it, and then you can push them into either a swimming pool, or in Anyer we do it into the sea.
So besides that, Archipelago is also renowned for its emphasis on Asian hospitality. How do you see human capital playing a role in the company's success?
So for us, employee well-being, employee development was always a kind of a key factor. And we always believe that staff perform better when they're, healthy, well looked after, in a good mood and so forth. So we always kind of, employee well-being was also part of the holistic approach we took to doing business here, is, making sure people have all the equipment that they need, have all the education that they need, have all the training that they need. Even here, for example, in the corporate office, they also get gym memberships, so everybody's in pretty good shape. So yeah, that's part of the holistic approach of doing it, was employee well-being.
Okay, employee well-being, also services and hospitality has been the key factors for Archipelago success and reach this level now. So thank you so much, Mr. John Flood, for having us.
Very welcome. Thanks very much for having us.
Thank you. I wish the best for Archipelagos and its grand opening in Cuba.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ya pemirsa, itulah wawancara kami dengan CEO of Archipelago John Flood di Property Point terkait dengan milestones yang Archipelago sudah capai hingga saat ini. Saya Shania Alatas, CNBC Indonesia, Beyond Business.